Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Listen, I want to talk about something real quick. So, a couple of days ago, Tisha Mama went live like 2 days in a row, right? And what I noticed is that she never held Tisha accountable in anything. And then when I started to think back, I was like, I don't think she ever held Tisha accountable for anything. And I know that when it comes to accountability, it requires like emotional capacities, and sometimes those emotional capacities may never have been like fully developed or reinforced. And Tisha, in my opinion, never learned how to tolerate being the one who contributed to the problem. Like psychologically, she is not able to tolerate being the one who contributed to the problem. Because in my opinion, and from things her mom has said and things we've seen her do, like explain away Tisha's behavior, because even in that live she said that Tisha was sensitive or that she was bullied. In the last 2 nights on her live, when she did those, she has made everybody the problem except for Tisha. So the 2 nights that she went live, she made everybody the problem. Everybody except for Tisha. So instead of Tisha being like, you know what, I probably did overreact by what Kimmy said. Or you know what, Nell was right to tell me to mind my business, because I would have said the same thing about her if she was worried about my marriage or my family. But she didn't do that. She took what Destiny said as being made fun of. She took it as humiliation, as Destiny talking crap about her. Like she shifted all of the blame onto Destiny. And it happened automatically, like not consciously. Like she genuinely believed that Destiny rolled up on Kimmy, brought her up, and started talking bad about her. And I feel like that's an effect of having a mom who always jumps in your situations, making you believe that the other person is either jealous, mean, two-faced, fake, however she may frame it. So just imagine going years hearing stuff like that from middle school to now. Like your brain is going to automatically equate discomfort with somebody mistreating you or dogging you out, versus like taking a step back, being like, I don't think I act like that, but I have heard this more than once. You know what, let me holler at Destiny to see if I'm just tripping. But she can't do that because she doesn't know how to separate like emotionally from how her mom thinks. So she's not going to self-reflect or form her own moral judgment. She's going to blame shift before anything. And the sad thing is, I don't think Tisha's faking. She has been emotionally programmed to believe she's always the victim. No emotional tolerance, no self-awareness. She don't have the ability, I don't think, to mix truths. Like what she said hurt me, but I do be tripping sometimes. And then her mom said in her live that Tisha, like I said, is sensitive. In my opinion, Tisha's not sensitive. The way Tisha responds to certain situations never gave sensitive to me, because she's not like accountable. She's not emotionally aware. She's not honest. She's not empathetic. And she doesn't respect boundaries. We saw in that scene, Destiny told that girl, shut the F up or get the F out of my face. Something like that. That was a boundary that Destiny set. And this girl had the bright idea to walk behind her, still talking out the side of her face. I've always thought of Tisha as weak, because she avoids accountability, responsibility. She depends on other people, to step in and fight her battles, and, to be on the defense and agree. Be on the defense and agree with her. And when you look up weak, that's what it means. It's like she dang near bullied Kimmy to be her surrogate when it comes to carrying her mess. And she has not developed when it comes to conflict management. She never can see the other person's perspective. She don't know how to apologize without being coached or having wrongs pointed out to her. And she never sees where she contributed to the problem. She doesn't seem to be able to tell the difference of being hurt from being right, because usually a person who can't tell the difference between being hurt and being right, they rationalize it in their mind that, well, if I'm hurt, then that means the other person is wrong. And we saw her do that with Destiny when she told her, I don't remember what you said, but I remember how I felt. But we do know that facts aren't feelings. So just sitting there listening to her mom, they never went from, I don't think they ever graduated from parent to child relationship to adult relationship. Because as a parent to child, you're going to protect your child. You're going to solve their problems. You're going to help them regulate their emotions. You may get involved socially. Maybe like a child may come and snatch a toy, and you be like, don't do that. Give the toy back. Like when she finishes, she'll give it to you or whatever. Little stuff like that. But when you become an adult, so adult to adult, all that change. And not saying that your parents won't be there for you and have your back, but they're not going to dominate the situation, because they're going to feel like they raised you in a way that they know you can handle your own situations. They're not going to continue to be the referee and the savior, your emotional defense attorney. They ain't going to keep doing it. It's just not going to happen. But when you think about it, Marceau is the adult to adult. He fills that void. We've seen Marceau have to explain, correct, reframe a situation so that she can understand it. Even with when Destiny had the retreat and she came back, she said that she told the lady that her reason for saying that she pulled back from her was BS. And she was like, well, I didn't want an argument, and I don't want things to be like, I just want us to be able to move forward. And he was like, well, you started it. And she was like, no. He said, yes. How do you think if somebody is explaining something to you and you're going to call it BS, you don't think that will start an argument? You don't think that will shift the energy? You don't think that? So she keeps going and going. So he's just standing there, against the counter, got his arms crossed. And he said, Tisha, you're talking about Tisha. And it took her a minute to catch on. And she was like, I'm like, oh, this baby, honey. Just like when she met up with Kimmy, when she had on the pink fedora, she met up with Kimmy and basically ran down to Kimmy what she expected of her. After she finished talking, she was like, do we have an understanding? Kimmy said, I hear you. I mean, I take it for what it's worth. Tisha said, well, I hope it's worth a lot. And that was her tone. And Kimmy, she was just sitting there nodding. Then she go home to Maurice. And she tells Maurice about it. He busts out, started laughing. He was like, was she serious? And she said, yes, she was serious. Then we get to, I think it was the reunion. And Kimmy says that Tisha requires things of people that she doesn't even give. And I really feel like in that moment, Kimmy was referring to how Tisha came to her and said, this is how I expect how I expect for you to be with me, because I really don't want you dealing with Melody. I really feel like Kimmy was thinking about the situation that you just sat here with me and basically told me how you want me to be when it comes to Mel. But Tisha turns around and goes behind Kimmy's back and basically co-signs with Kiowa that Kimmy was a side chick. So it's like she want everything her way. That's it. She wants you to agree with her, whether she right, she wrong, indifferent. That's what she wants. And the whole time that her mom was on live, she was like, I don't understand why you think that you could talk to somebody's sister-in-law and they won't come back and say nothing. And then she go into, did Tisha say anything about you when you was crying on both of our shoulders over LB and Moses? And somebody said something in the comments. She was like, well, I can say it because she ain't my friend. We ain't friends. And I know people say, well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Did the apple even get off the tree? I don't know, Jerry. Get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. And I'll talk to y'all later.